Now, Vusi Thembekwayo went from sleeping in his car for months on end to being the youngest director of a JSE-listed company and the CEO of an investment firm. He joins us now in the studio to chat about his journey and his book titled Business and Life Lessons from a Black Dragon. If you've got any questions for Vusi, please head over to our social media platforms using the hashtag Afternoon Express. Welcome to the show.
I'm such a fan of your work, by the way.
I mean, I'm such a fan of your work.
I feel like I'm crushing. I'm just going to be quiet.
No, I'm crushing. I love success. You know, I love your story because I think, you know, the age-old story of the underdog, the guy who never was going to make it, actually becomes one of the wealthiest men in the country. I mean, well done. But it wasn't always looking like that for you.
No.
I mean, from a young age, you were pushed down 2 grades at school because you couldn't speak Afrikaans.
Yeah. It was one of those times when we were migrating from township schools to like Model C schools. So I went to the school and I was 2 years ahead based on my age because of my academics. And I took a math test and I aced it, took an English test and I aced it. And then I got to the Afrikaans channel and they made me like identify stuff. And they pointed at the kitchen and the lady, Mevrou Olivier, said, "What is this?" And I was like, kitchen? I don't know. I've come to learn since that it's a kumbase. I didn't know at the time, so I was pushed down 2 years,
Oh, my word. That is absolutely crazy. And then you obviously did continue to do well academically after that. Then, obviously, varsity studies, all of that goes well. And then you have an issue with the business partner, a business decision goes wrong. And you end up living in your car for 7 months.
So what had actually happened was, it was one of those stories I love telling entrepreneurs because an Excel spreadsheet will lie to you, it'll tell you you're going to make money. So I had 3 months of savings and I saved, and I took my 3 months of savings and I paid 3 months rent up front. I paid my salary 3 months, my assistant's salary 3 months, and I paid my car 3 months. And I was like, after 3 months, I surely should be making money, our business should be doing well. And then it wasn't. And the bank wanted to repossess the car, and I was like, there's no Uber, so I'm not carring. This is 12 years ago. So I went and lived in the basement of my office for 7 months, in the dead of winter.
But why wasn't your business making money? Because I suppose you need cash flow, you don't just need a good business.
It's a great question. Anytime you're selling a product into a market, you have to allow the market the opportunity to learn the product. People don't just pick something up front. So we were new. This was 12 years ago. We were doing balanced scorecard implementations, probably one of the first companies in the country to do it. I'd been to Washington on a course to learn how to do it. So we were going to implement these, but it took time to sell into corporate and for corporate to buy. And then after they buy, for you to implement, and after they implement, for you to get paid, right? So there was a cycle there. And that cycle just took as long as it took. It's, I always say to entrepreneurs, like a potato, if I watered mine twice as much as you did yours, it wouldn't grow twice as fast. There's a natural process of growth that you just have to go through. So that's what happened.
So your book is now out. It's your second book. What is the difference between the two? I think the second one is a little bit more personal. So tell us a little bit about it.
I hate it. I got to tell you, I hated the process of writing this book.
Why?
I enjoyed the outcome because it felt very final. It felt like I was going full stop, this is my life, right? And I didn't like that approach at all.
No, that sounds like there's going to be a trilogy.
So I was like, well, rather than say, this is my life, end of story, what can I share and what can people learn? The business book, the first one, The Magna Carta of Exponentiality, very much a business book. This one is a lot more about just lessons, basic stuff. Like, my mom used to make me shine the stoop outside the house. And I talk about how after I'd shine the stoop, my mom would walk the perimeter of the house, and if she couldn't see her reflection everywhere, I'd have to redo it.
Oh, your mother sounds like quite a lady. I like her.
But today what it's taught me is diligence and hard work and always show your best foot every single time, right?
And I mean, it's clear to see why you're also known as the rock star public speaker, because you just, like, no, everything you say makes sense in such an inspiring way. It's amazing. Who should read your book?
Anybody who wants their life to mean something, and anybody who's curious on learning and curious on growing. Doesn't really matter the walk of life, but if you want to understand what's happening across the barricade, and you want to learn and to share, get the book.
Oh, it's a good read. Everyone in South Africa should be reading it. So now we've asked you if you've got any questions for Vusi, and Andessa already asked. This man is truly an inspiration. The question to Vusi is, which 3 adjectives describe your strength?
That's a terrible question. That is a shocking question.
Shame, and she's pretty busy, but you know, complimenting you.
3 strengths. Number 1, I'm great at failing.
Yeah.
Number 2, I am biblically impatient, and that's a strength.
Okay.
And number 3, I am a human being. So any person around me who makes a mistake, who commits an error, I'm like the easiest person to forgive.
That is very, very sweet. Thank you so much for being here today.
I can't believe this has happened.
I've
ticked it off on my list now.
Thank you very much
Thanks,
for being here. It was an absolutely amazing interview.